This morning's Breakfast Bible Bites introduces a three-part series on Psalm 42, an introduction in finding comfort in God's blessings. Perhaps as the psalmist's sense of dejection returned and is spurred on by a spasm of despondency, he therefore attempts to find comfort and solace through the mental pictures formed in his mind as he remembers how the pale blue snow-capped cone formed a peak above the northern horizon from Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is on the northern boundary of Palestine, where its snow melt forms the source of the Jordan River. It is about 40 miles north of the Sea of Galilee, yet its magnificence is conspicuous from a great distance. We have all read about Mount Hermon if we have read Matthew 17, 1 through 3. It says, 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John his brother, and led them up high on a mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his garments became as white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, talking with Jesus. And the next day they descended to Caesarea Philippi. In David's mind, he visualizes the glorious behemoth from a nearby smaller mountain viewpoint called Mount Mizmer. The mental picture of this introspection seems to have brought some serene comfort to his person, as the psalmist no longer appears to be like the nervous little deer found in verse 1. Rather, he becomes contemplative. Our God desires that we come to him as little children, anticipating a comforting embrace as we bear our emotions openly, plainly, and clearly before him. I posted this introduction to also bring some comfort to those who have lost loved ones. Moses and Elijah, although physically dead, were recognizable spiritual entities to the disciples that accompanied Jesus. That fact should comfort us as we are given evidence that when our own time on earth comes to a close, God's Spirit writes through Paul's pen in 2 Corinthians 5:8, yes, we are fully confident, and we would rather be away from these earthly bodies, for then we will be at home with the Lord. And when we are at home with our Lord, we will surely be able to recognize those we have loved on this earth who have proceeded before us to heaven.